Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Inside Fnatic's Brush, week 2 of Spring Split LEC Season 12. Thank you for joining me or for watching if you're on YouTube. Really appreciate those tuning in and those watching the VODs. As you may be seeing, actually, no, because I'm all slouched in my chair. I've just got. Let me just angle the camera a bit. Just received the New Jersey. There we go. This morning in the mail. And I gotta say, it's actually really, really nice. I don't know if you can see a little sort of wave pattern there going on. It's a bit of a shame. It actually doesn't show so well on the pictures, in my opinion. It looks much better live, and the quality of the fabric is actually very nice. Got the jacket as well, which has the same pattern. Very, very comfortable. It's actually kind of warm as well. It looks like they have like inside pockets, so very sweet. And the side pockets are really high, so good kit, Fnatic, good kit. But anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about week 2 of LEC. All the games that happened, the surprises, the Fnatic games. Obviously, we'll go over. Still undefeated, 5-0, great record to start the season, and some of our week 3 predictions. Now, if some of you have been following the Twitter account, you may have seen that I've said there's going to be a few surprises, so stay with me as we'll be going through them during our chat. Oh, Lydon! Hey, Lydon! How's it going? What a handsome man! Thank you. See, it's the jersey that's doing all the work. Really, it's the kit. I don't have to do anything. Look at this. So good. All these sponsors as well, man. Look at this. I don't think there's been as many sponsors on a jersey as this one. There's Crypto, there's BMW, there's Jax Links, you've got ASOS. I think that's about it, really. I did check if there's the L'Oreal one. I don't think there is. No, not sure there is, but I believe it should be on the jersey in the back. You better be getting big bucks for showing all these sponsors. But dude, like Jack Slings can send me their beef jerky for that protein. Don't tell Sam, but Jack Slings tastes like that. I actually enjoy that. I actually like beef jerky. I have it almost daily. I don't have Jack Sling because it's actually really hard to get some where I live somehow. So I get another brand instead. Whoops, maybe I shouldn't say that, but um, yeah, yeah. I don't know a lot of people that actually like beef jerky. Um, it's it's a peculiar taste, you know. It's I don't know. I like it, but that's maybe my French side of me that likes like dried meat. You know, we have saucisson, which is like dried sausage. So could be. I don't know. I don't know. That'll be maybe we'll have to do a special like taste test podcast of Jack's Links and see see which, because I know they have a bunch of flavors. I think they have the teriyaki one, original, some other sorts. So Fnatic, if you're watching, Jack's like if you're watching, send me a box. I'll do a review and we'll see what it's all. You had oyster for Christmas, dude. I cannot have oysters myself. I felt violated eating that. Yeah, no, just I even cooked. I don't think I'd be able to. I've never had them, but like I know the texture, and I think it would make me puke. Literally, it's it's not my kind of stuff. I'll have any form of seafood, but It's oysters. I like if one day I get invited somewhere and it's like oysters and caviar, I might just have to dip and go to McDonald's, you know, cause this shit don't fly. Anyways, no worries, Lyndon. Stay around as we go through our recap today, as we're checking on the LEC and the current standings. Still at the very top, Rogue and Fnatic undefeated. Now, a little funny story. Both Rogue and Fnatic's academy team are also undefeated. So it's quite funny that this exact scenario is playing out. But Rogue is playing super well so far. I'm quite impressed. They're rather clean in general. Comp is playing way better than I expected, to be honest. And Marang is like his game against Mad Lions, where he stays in that brush towards the bot lane when they're surrounding Drake, and he just patiently stays there while the whole team of Mad Lions is in front of him. Just comes out at the right moment, gets a kick on Unforgiven, completely turns the team fight around. He's um he's a dangerous player. He's a dangerous player, and I think he's definitely one of the big parts of Rook's success for this. A sort of like the middle part, Mad Lions, G2, Misfits, still kind of bundled up, still on a 3-2 record for the moment. XL finally got a win this week to add to their previous one, but still not looking good. Vitality getting 2 wins this week. And then we have SK, BDS, and Astralis all at the bottom. So for me, I've actually put 3.5 teams in terms of top performances for this week. Obviously, Vitality coming back from a god awful week one. Actually played really clean, and I'd say up to the level that we should be expecting them at, which was much more control, much more dominant. We had this game from Perks against G2 where his CS per minute was absolutely insane on Oriana. He just went completely god mode on his former teammate Caps, and he was hitting shockwaves in team fights. Like I don't know how he does it, but he just makes that ball disappear within the team fight, and he grabs 2 or 3 in a shockwave, and very good performance really from them. Self-made also very smart pathing on his Xinzao, punishing the Zyra pick from Targamas on G2 with that level 2 gank. And yeah, I think they're slowly finding back their footing. They're getting to that level where we expect them at a super team. And I think going forward, they're going to continue to snowball the sort of skills and um, expectations that we have from them, and definitely I'd say come back to the top. Right now, obviously, because of the bad week and the super week, they're still on a negative record, but I think starting at the end of week 3, we should be expecting them back at a positive win rate if they obviously continue on their trend. Fnatic and Rogue obviously are there as well. Both teams played rather well this weekend, even though there was this scrappy Astralis game that Fnatic played. They were still ahead though the whole game, so not too worried about that in a sense. And the Misfits game, now that was way more impressive because, in my opinion, the Misfits game was probably one of the scariest one in like recent teams we fight, not only because of the history that we have of facing Misfits, like in Spring Split, or usually the first time we meet them, we always take the L. And it was a rather, I'd say, convincing 23-minute game. They did give us some really easy picks. Now, the Twisted Fate for Humanoid, that was, I think big mistake in draft from them. Um, Wunder going back on the tank Akali, doing rather well in general. Razork, which I think is finding a bit more his footing. He has shared the fact that he was struggling a little bit with both, finding his place within the team and also finding the right early playstyle to kind of compensate having such good players on his team, which I guess is a good problem to have in a sense. But if I try to modify maybe a bit of his identity, but I think he had some very very interesting games for sure this weekend. Rogue, I've also mentioned previously. Now, as you can see, I've put Astralis kind of like an asterisk because even though they're still winless, I want to kind of put a bit of the spotlight on their performance this week. I think they looked way better than on the first week. A lot of improvements. Obviously, the game against Fnatic, I guess what really helped them was the countless objective bounties. What a fun mechanic that is, by the way. That kept them in the game and brought them, reduced the goal difference between both of them. Because I believe Fnatic was like 6-7k difference, and then a turret, a Drake, another turret, and then suddenly they're down to 3 to 2k difference, which is really ridiculous when you see how well Fnatic was managing the map. But just one split push, one trade from one turret to another, and suddenly the gold gap just gets reduced very quickly. So a good attempt from Astralis, bringing out the Poppy for Zanzara, which is a pick we don't really see in EU, in at least from what I can remember. Maybe I'm wrong on that one, but I don't think it's a pick we usually see quite often. So that was a good first game for them. Their game against Mad Lions, where they were actually quite dominant in the beginning. Just I think the skill expression during team fights and a bit of the decision making mid to late game kind of impacted the result, and in the end Astralis still lost this game. But I think overall they're starting to find their footing, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing some of their first wins next week. So yeah, pretty good game from them. Despite obviously their record, but I think it's decent. I think it's a decent showing overall. So yeah, I'm trying to sneeze. I'm sorry if you see me touching my nose. It's just it's not coming. Oh, I hate this. It's on the tip of my nose, as you could see. Sorry about that. Mad Lions. It has. I need to sneeze, man. It's so horrible. Such a horrible feeling. So yeah, Mad Lions and BDS as kind of the floppy teams from last week. Now you might be surprised for Mad Lions because like, oh, Michael, they went 1-1. Like they're not bottom of the rankings. Well, they obviously lost against Rogue, who played way better than them, even though I felt Mad Lions showed some clean games on the first week. I was expecting them maybe to challenge Rogue and maybe surprise them. That didn't happen. Rogue just played very clean and very controlled, especially during the team fights. Very smart approaches to the game. But the other thing is their game against Astralis, where Mad Lions in a situation could have gone 0-2, technically. So a bit disappointing from them to kind of sort of falter a little bit and not have as strong of a showing as in week one. Obviously, they have their rookies who are still kind of adapting to this new team, adapting to the level of the LEC. But yeah, I'm kind of curious of how Mad Lions is gonna go forward. If it's just like an odd week for them, or if this sort of, you know, mid-level play style is gonna continue. If they're kind of maybe clean up their act. So we'll have to see. Just was expecting a bit more from them, definitely. With that said, BDS is continuing to disappoint me greatly. Now, I know a lot of you weren't expecting much from them. I thought that we would be much more challenging at the beginning, especially with the caliber of rookies that they have. I personally rate the rookies they have. For me, it's still a situation of Syncroft and Nuclear Int against the world. Adam is playing extremely poorly. Like he's actually a liability for his team now. Got soloed by Odawamne, just loses lane. Um, has the weirdest map movement in the mid game. So I think Grabs and what's his name and Duffman need to sit down with him and clean up some of his game, because it is not pretty at all, at all, at all. So they're sitting 1-4, and there's games that they should have won, in my opinion, this week. They were facing, who were they facing again? So obviously they were facing Rogue, which was a bit more difficult. But obviously, I mean, Vitality kind of came back up. So okay, I'd say, okay, I guess my bad. Vitality and Rogue are two very strong teams. So maybe just unlucky adversaries for this week, but still, for me they really got stomped. They never really showed any sign of life, and as far as I'm looking, they're not a playoffs team. They are not a playoffs team. So I guess obviously long-term project. We'll have to see what it's about, but um, it's not looking great. Not looking great for them so far. Yeah, that's about it for the LEC. Now, as some of you might have seen, was it yesterday or the day prior? This happened. Mikyx back in competitive play with Excel replacing Advienne. I put good or bad decision as more of like an opinion for you guys. What do you think? What's your take on the situation? But me personally, I've been pretty vocal about this. I mean, if you look at it as a pure standpoint of, oh yeah, Mikyx is a very good support, we have to get him. Yeah, sure, but it's more complicated than that, and especially when you see that there's more to the story than just what do you call it? They're just upgrading Mikyx. So Advienne has to bite the bullet here, which is very weird, right? Let's put this into context. Advienne with Marcoon come in the middle of summer split last year, after echoing kind of hesitancy towards joining Excel. Now we know how Excel has treated some of their players before, with Checolad and Torre, kind of putting them in a sort of weird jail because they had played too many games within LEC to be able to play in ERL, and they were kind of in this limbo basically of like, well, we don't want to keep you guys, and there's not much we can do with you guys, so you just stay there, I guess. So that was the situation for them. Um, So in any case, Markun and Advienne, who were playing very well in NLC, which is the sort of Nordic ARL, um, showcasing great talent for rookies and a lot of potential, and came in to summer. I believe went 2-0 in the first week they played, beating G2 at the time. It was like still one of the top teams. So it's like, wow, these guys have really good potential. Let's try to build something around them in spring. So they keep them for spring. And after what is not a bad start to the season, it's 2-3. You're still within reach of playoffs, which ultimately is the objective for Excel, right? Why are you suddenly changing Advienne for what? Not being higher in the rankings? Now, obviously, Advienne is not Hylissang. He's not Kaiser. He's not Trimby. But he's still a very good, a very decent support. And has good synergy with Markun because they were playing together prior. So it's a very weird decision, right? To not only change a support or not only change a player within a few weeks of what do you call it? Of LEC, right? When Mikyx was available on the market way prior, and suddenly saying we switched the team. On top of that, from what we've learned from Advienne's Twitlonger, there was no communication prior. It was just like, it happened. You're right, dude. Mikyx is coming to replace you. The only explanation is like it makes good business sense, which is such a weird explanation to give to a player, but just as a strategy, as an organization, like what are you trying to accomplish, really? So personally, that really upset me for all of this. We've again, Excel has a history of really like having shitty player management, and this is just one more to the list to add for them. So, with that said, let's look into it a bit more detailed in the sense that what does it mean for Excel? Like, what are they trying to accomplish? Do they think that changing Advienne is going to change the major problem that they have right now, which is pretty much not being able to close despite having an advantage? There's so many games where Excel is ahead and they just get caught up in the end. They just get hit and they're not even able to close it. And that's one thing. The second thing is to say in the presentation of the video, Mikyx brings something that Advienne didn't have, and that's the it's that hunger for success. As in, what, Advienne wants to fucking lose the game? What? That doesn't make sense. And it's pretty disrespectful to even suggest that in the first place, or to kind of say it without saying it, if you will. That's one thing. Then the other thing that you have to consider is to say, okay, so we bring in Mikyx, world's finalist, MSI winner, multiple LEC titles. What's our objective here? Are we trying to, are we trying to just qualify for playoffs? Or are we looking to win the LEC? Because for the longest time, let's be very honest with ourselves, Excel's like minimum spread at this stage is just, let's at least make playoffs, just to at least put an end to the memes, and be done with that. And now when you have a player the caliber of Mikyx, you're like, is playoffs really like the be on the end all of what you're trying to achieve? Like, are you using Mikyx as an actual player or as just a patch before you find someone else to replace him? Because Mikyx is a high caliber player. It would be a player you would probably build your team around. He's not like a Gilius that comes in and, maybe tries to hype your team of rookies and be like, okay guys, let's do our best, let's get that playoff spot and go further. You should have higher expectations with Mickey. There's such a mismatch of skills within the players. Like Patrick is a good ADC, no doubt about it. But then you have Nuke Now Nuke, let's not forget, went 0-0-0 for 35 minutes on the LeBlanc, an assassin player who's supposed to create advantages, get leads, and what? Is that not a problem for you? A guy who's not able to get assassin kills, to create advantages, just stays like pacifist mode the whole game. 35 minutes is a pretty long time. So yeah, I don't know. For me, I don't think it's a good decision. It sends a bad message for the existing players. Breaks a bit some of the synergy. Doesn't have good long-term vision of what success looks like for Excel. And just places a lot of distrust into a long-term vision of building a successful team. So I don't think this is what helps them make playoffs, to be very blunt. And personally, I hope they don't make playoffs because they should not be rewarded for this kind of behavior. You can say business, it is business, this is how it works. Still, there's way you even if it's business, people deserve respect, and what they did to SGN was completely disrespectful. This guy is without a team way after off season is done, and you're like, hey, good luck, man. You find yourself in another team in LEC or in ERL possibly. Even though you worked here the hardest to get where you are today, you're stepping back again, and that just sucks, man. Especially if if he said, like in his tweet, he has imposter syndrome and stuff like this. This does not help, man. This does not help at all. It's a shame. It's a shame, really, in that sense. But enough about that. Let's talk about something that's fun. Something that's fun is Fnatic, and it's an undefeated Fnatic. And to quickly touch over the games again this week, I feel like we had two different games with two teams with different skill levels. At least in my perception, is that for me, Astralis was going to be a quick breeze. We had very good picks. Humanoid has his Oriana. Razor gets his Lee Sin. Wunder gets to play the fucking obnoxious tank Akali. Ends up being a 40-minute game because objective bounties, great system riot, becomes so fucking stupid to the stage where it's like, what's the point of even getting an advantage if they can easily have access to this feed of of resources, without even trying. Like, and then it goes longer and longer and longer. They have to get I believe they got like two what do you call it? Two barons, and I think they got Drake Soul as well. So yeah, 40-minute plus game, which is what it is. It still ended up with a win. Zanzara did play well with his Poppy, and I think it was a bit of a surprise pick as well. So maybe that's what caused the situation. But in the end, great game, I want to say, from from Hyli again, who actually gets double MVP for this week. He's going absolutely crazy this season. Against Astralis, playing the Zillion, which in comparison to the Zillion from week 1 was way better. And this guy plays Zillion like no one else. Like if you ever thought Zillion was not an engaged champion, look at this game, man. It is a whole different box of cats with this guy. It's when he hits that double, and he flashes double bomb on like river bot lane, you're like, this guy doesn't care, dude. He's just like the Giga Chad meme, you know. He just walks forward, refuses to elaborate, and that's it. Oh God, that was pretty impressive. But yeah, awesome game from Hyli there. Second game now against Misfits. Now that was completely different. 23-minute game, super fast, very clean team fights. Hyli picking the Braum, which was a bit surprising here. But it's Hyli. He could just play whatever he wants, and he's still gonna be able to execute it. Find the engages. I mean, again, Braum is usually like a disengaged champion. He plays it full engage. He doesn't care. He's in your face. Just survives team fights where he has no business surviving. This guy is just on another level. Picks up his second MVP, and rightfully so, which is quite funny because just before the last team fight that wins the game for Fnatic, they showcase his KDA. This guy is first in KDA, as a KDA of 10 for support for Hyli. This guy who takes pride in dying has a KDA of 10. Like, what kind of alternative universe are we living in? No, first of all, we get Wunder playing for Fnatic. Now we have Hyli top KDA. Like, is this even real? Like, how does this work? But yeah, I was quite happy with what we were able to accomplish. I'm sorry, I'm watching the Fnatic Team Castle game, and we're kind of getting smashed right now, but it's gonna be fine. I believe in the boys. I'm just gonna put it down because it's distracting me. There's a lot of team fights. So yeah, all in all, we still stay at the top. I think Razork is fitting a bit better. Humanoid and Offset are just playing like absolute gods right now. Like, it's a shame that Humanoid doesn't get more recognition because he's being an absolute staple for the team, and it feels like he's not even trying. He's just playing so casually, and I think that's why he doesn't get MVPs, because he's not doing necessarily like flashy plays, just plays normally. And on his Twisted Fate, he was just so damn clean. Offset gets doesn't die. I believe didn't die on both games this weekend. Has super high DPM. So not just actual KDA player, but participates in the success. But just Hyli is going god mode right now. And I think at some point we have to recognize that there's something quite spiritual about Hyli, And I think it's time for a bit of Hyli appreciation. Join me in a prayer. To our God, support Hyli, who is blessing us with MVP games. We honor your name on this first day, and we thank thee for being the craziest player that Fnatic has ever known. You engage on Zillion. You don't die in the craziest engages. You have a KDA of 10 when you are known to die constantly. Hyli sang, may your name be blessed. We thank you for your services daily and for bringing us joy every weekend. Amen. I thought it would be nice to do this for our boy Hyli sang, because he's been an absolute god. Thank you, by the way, for who was it in Discord. I'm sorry if I forget your name for making this. This is top level Photoshop. I'm just gonna scroll back up because I need to shout you out for helping me providing this. I'm scrolling. God, I'm sorry. When was it? It was yesterday, I believe. There's been just so much chat. Let me see if I do this. I think, was it no. It's not letting me search for some reason. I'm sorry, man. I need to scroll. I'm sorry. This is post champ, by the way. I don't know why it's so slow. Guys post too many pictures. That's why. What if I do this? Does this make it easier? I need to shout out because I was super nice of him to come up with this from scratch. Oh yeah, Fnatic Gucci Sang Enjoyer. Is that your actual? Okay, I guess that's your actual Discord name. Cool. Much appreciated. Thanks. But yeah, thank you, Hyli Sang. You're a madman. I think if he continues performing like this throughout the season, he should be MVP of the split. Like, he's one of the strongest candidates in my opinion, and there's no reason for him to not get it. So yeah, I'm super happy that he's super happy from what he's been saying. So good to have him still within the ranks and to perform probably one of the highest level and with consistency that is being unmatched, I think, from recent seasons from him. So praise Hyli Sang. Anyways, let's move on forward, guys, to the predictions. it's not going well. It is not going well. You are absolutely demolishing me here. I went for the spicy picks. I got betrayed by Excel. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. For these predictions, the outcomes should be expected. There shouldn't be any surprises, I think. I'm trying my hand in thinking that Astralis might get the game against BDS because BDS is just so god awful right now, and just rely on two players that I'm thinking Astralis might take it this time. We'll see. Other than that, very like there's a favorite in each game. Does Excel maybe upset Mad? I don't think so. With Mickey coming in, I don't think he's gonna make miracles necessarily. Their problems are still gonna stay the same, in my opinion. Fnatic versus Rogue though, banger game. This is the game that determines who stays undefeated, and that's gonna be an intense one because both teams are playing really well. So it'll come down to the ones who execute the best, and probably I think it's gonna come down to draft, most possibly. On the second day, yeah, yeah. I remember now. I put Astralis just to spite Excel for their shitty behavior. So I'm putting Astralis. Astralis 2-0 week. I actually believe in miracles, dude. It could happen. But second banger game for Fnatic. Fnatic G2. This week is banger upon bangers. This is it. We're finally facing the big teams. It's G2 Rogue this week. Mad Lions the week after. No excuses. The win streak must go on, guys. The win streak must go on. Vitality Rogue might be a complicated one. Vitality is definitely looking better. I just think Rogue might be a bit cleaner. We'll have to see what type of vitality shows up on the day, I guess. But yeah, I've tried to be a bit less spicy. I was thinking about to put SK over BDS, but I still think BDS should have that one. So that's pretty much it. Let me just have a look at what's happening. 8 for 9. Oh, I guess we just won a massive team fight because there was a bigger difference. I'm telling you, the Spanish Fnatic boys, GQ, Team Queso, they've got this. They've got this in the bag. That is pretty good. It's pretty good. All right. Well, that was a rather short one. It's weird because I added more subjects this time. I just think there's less interaction in the chat, so there's less discussion. But hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. That's fine. That's fine by me. So that's it for today's episode, guys. For those who have tuned in live, again, thank you very much for coming in. If you're a first-time viewer, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you'll get the chance to tune in next week. I do this every week during LEC season, 8 p.m. Central Eastern Time. So that's Germany, Paris, Madrid, whatever you come from. Time. That's the format. If you ever wanna, come in a chat or even come in voice, have a discussion live, you're free to do so. Let me know. I don't bite, I promise. But in any case, thank you very much. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. If you've gone all the way through here, again, I appreciate you taking the time to watch a Fnatic fan ramble. And good luck for the games tomorrow, I guess. Win streak 7-0, big games, bangers. Fingers crossed. In any case, always Fnatic. See you guys next time. Bye bye.